was your reaction to how the fans greeted Josh Gordon?
You know, I'm glad Max and Damian are on this segment with me because I want to be very clear. I'm probably in the minority here. I wasn't happy about it. I don't root against Josh Gordon by any stretch of the imagination. You know, all our prayers should be with him. We should wish him well. And I'm quite sure that's what the fans were doing in defense of the fans' ovation to him, Max, Damian. But my whole point is this, and I've said it, and I don't say it in a maligning, insulting kind of way. I'm speaking reality. He's an addict. It's a challenge. Marijuana use,
It's a disease.
Far more significant drugs. Supposedly he's entertained, alcohol, etc. And it's led to him having a highly unproductive professional career. He played all 16 games his rookie year after messing up at Baylor, where he had an opportunity to be RG3's teammate, and at the RG3. But I'm just saying, when you look at his history, and it's all been chronicled, so I'm not gonna throw salt on that wound. I don't need to regurgitate those things. But chance after chance after chance after chance after chance has been given to this young man, and he has messed up. Now, he's messed up because he's an addict, and I understand that. But when you're cheering him on, you're rooting for him, but in the same breath, he's been cheered on before. How much does that help? That's helped him come back.
Yeah.
It didn't help him stay. You understand? Somehow, some way, at some point in time, tough love's required.
Chris Carter talks about that a lot with this subject.
That's right. And Chris Carter is the best guy in football to talk about this subject with all the things that he's overcome. And that's my man. I'm very proud of Chris Carter. But I'm just simply saying, I'm not trying to be hardcore. I just think that the priority should be cheering Josh Gordon on for a better life, not cheering him on to be a football player, because he has clearly missed the boat on that. He has messed up entirely too many times for me to applaud him in a football uniform.
I'll cheer Josh Gordon. If he relapses and he gets back on the field, I'll cheer him again. If he relapses after that, gets back on the field, I'll cheer him again. My understanding of what addicts struggle with is that it's not like one day, I used to be an alcoholic or something like that. That's what you are. You have to deal with that every day. The mistake is people are like, I'm never going to do it again. You don't know that. What you can do is say, I'm not going to do it today. And you know what? Today or yesterday was a good day for Josh Gordon. Ostensibly, he wasn't using that day and hadn't used enough of those days that now he's back on the field. So I will applaud that every time. And it's not about tough love or soft love or whatever that is. It's just about being happy for a dude who's struggling better now than he was then. There are no guarantees about the future. You don't have a crystal ball. I agree, he keeps relapsing, but even then, some people are in so much pain, they anesthetize the pain one way or another, and with illegal drugs, whatever, or with narcotics of some kind or another. That's, to me, from where I'm sitting, pretty clearly what's going on with him. I feel for him for his pain. I hope he's able to deal with it better than he has in the past. I'm glad that right now he seems to be dealing with it better. I hope in the future that will continue. I'll applaud him every time. By the way, provided the person he's hurting is himself and no one else.
I don't root against anybody, especially as somebody in Josh Gordon's position. I pray for him, to be quite honest with you, and anybody in that kind of situation, hoping that they get themselves right. But when you mess up time and time and time again, I get tired of people assuming that it's yourself you hurt. You know what? There are bodies that lie in your wake when you do the kind of things that he has done to himself. Loved ones, mentors, beyond, people who have invested their time, energy, and love in this man, and people who depended on him. And somehow, some way, he has let them down. And all I'm saying is, along the way of wishing him well, along the way of hoping that he gets himself straight, not just with football, as Chris Carter would say, but life. Along the process of doing all of those things, keep in mind that a lot of times when people find themselves in this situation, there's a lot of heartache that they spread around to people in their inner circle. And somehow, some way, that gets lost in the shuffle. If you're just hurting yourself, it's easy to root for somebody to overcome
Let me address
that. But
that.
when you hurt other people, that matters.
I think that's an important point. Let me address that. because as I've gotten older, I think differently about this. If you have kids, that's a separate thing. You are literally responsible for your children.
Sure.
But even then, what I notice about people in Josh Gordon's situation, if they try to do it for someone else because they feel responsible to other people, that doesn't work. What seems to work is they got to get over hating themselves. They got to be right with themselves. And if they get right with themselves, they're able to do for themselves. So sometimes I know what you mean, because the reality is you are responsible in various ways for other people in your life. That's the reality of living in a community, of having family. But particularly athletes who come from impoverished circumstances and are kind of taking a generation, if not a family, with them, right, out of certain circumstances. But really, that to me is not the argument. The argument is, like, he is responsible for himself.
Well,
if he gets right with himself, good for him. I don't think the sense of guilt for responsibility for others works in this situation.
The operative two words are "to you." To me, it's a little bit different, because I'm not, listen, I haven't had that issue in my immediate family, but in my family, there has been people who abuse drugs. And I know the kind of collateral damage they have caused. And I'm telling you, I'm speaking from personal experience, because my mother was an aunt, you know, to various folks and what have you. They know the damage that they wreaked through my family because of the things. I take it very seriously, and it's not like I'm devoid of compassion or anything like that. But I don't just think about the person who's the addict. I think about the lives the addict affects too.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.